Today's adventure is going to be back in Tombstone, Arizona. We were here a year ago and figured it's Labor Day weekend. Today is September 2nd, and we're going to go out, walk the streets of none other than Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, Morgan Earp, and Virgil Earp. That fateful day, October 26, 1881, where several men died with a gunfight at the OK Corral. So we're inviting you to join us on this Labor Day weekend here in Tombstone, Arizona. Peace. All right, so we're going to walk down these famous streets, which the OK Corral gunfight happened on that fateful day. All right, guys, we'll see you at the OK Corral.
Yeah, it was a very, very big bird. Now, Doc, good though. He went to work on it. I got pictures.
We meet again.
Catch us in action, bud?
I guess so. We meet again, don't we?
Yeah,
So who do you play?
Doc.
You do play Doc Holliday, huh?
So, tomorrow morning I play Doc again, and then in the afternoon I play Curly Bill.
You play Curly Bill. You die? No?
He just sits in jail.
I'm
only in the show for 5 minutes. I like it.
Well, that's good. That's not bad.
Hell yeah.
Especially if you sit in jail, you can sit around.
Yeah. So where are you guys from?
Born and raised here.
What the hell?
Born and raised.
Oh, rare.
A lot of generations.
Oh, well.
Most definitely.
My drink is going to be on ice, like.
All right. Well, enjoy. Okay, I'm in front of the original birdcage from 1881. You can look at the information right back here. This is where the Earps, Holliday, McClary, Plantons all came to see a show. So let's go check out, maybe we'll catch a show inside the Birdcage Theater. Always be yourself. All right, we're actually right now by ourselves in the Birdcage Theater. We're inside. Look at all these artifacts that are in here. I mean, you got an old desk, an old typewriter, and this is really cool. An old organ, another, looks like a piano organ, and more typewriters. And imagine they sat in this room while they watched the show up here. You got a little, I guess back then, a grand piano. And up here is the upper balcony where you would have maybe Maddie and Wyatt sit up here watching the show. We had a lot of the cowboys, the outlaws, right here. It's kind of an example of a poker table they would use back over 100 years ago. As you see, the face value of the cards, they don't have numbers, letters, or anything else. They just go by what the shapes were, like the king, the queen, the jack, 6 of clubs, so 4 of hearts. That's how you would know what card you're dealing with. We're going to go inside and we're going to check out the poker room. All right, let's go see what we got. Before we go to the poker room, we're going to check out this hearse that's been here probably since the time of Tombstone. Can you imagine what the McClarys and Clantons, when they died, they might have put their body to lay to rest in this hearse carriage. It says right here, Tombstone original Boot Hill hearse from 1881. You got a nice bison head there. Some of the old clothing, saddle. Go look at the pictures on the wall. People like Miss Jane Laurel. Her career was well into the 20th century. Maud Adams, Guy Bates, Post, Eddie Foy, one of America's famous comedians, one of the famous comedians back in the 19th century, taken by C.S. Fly when they played here at the Birdcage Theater. Imagine the shows back then. All right, I'm going to walk these steps going down to the poker room where they played a mean game. If you look at the table, I mean, there's a lot of stuff scattered all over it. But in this little cubbyhole, they played their games of poker. Sometimes when you got the shows going up above, they would come down here and play. For example, Doc Holliday. You know, Wyatt Earp played poker. And then they have a little bar over there in the corner. They had it made. They had it made down here. Also, they had the little rooms where they can get their better half companion. So, if you guys want to look that information up, I'll put the link down below. Give you an idea of what these rooms were used for. Ladies of the night. That's basically it. When they were done with their poker game, maybe they hop into the room and join one of the ladies of the night. If you look down there, you see a lot of old artifacts, old bottles, old insulators from power lines. I'm sure it goes way back. I heard there's tunnels down here. There might be one possibility where this may lead. Very interesting. All right, it's going to do it for the inside the Birdcage Theater. Ever in Tombstone, come check this place out. Again, I'll put a link down below. Definitely worth it.
Welcome aboard the old Tombstone Tours. My name is Billy. I'll be your driver and your narrator. Two fine animals out in front of us doing all the work for us today. Well, that's Jake and Champ. Sit back and relax while these two boys drag us 140 years back in time, when Tombstone was nothing more than a silver mining camp. Now, Tombstone survived two major fires here in 1881 and 1882. The first one happened on the right-hand side of the coach here at the Oriental Saloon Mercantile. That was known as the Arcadia Saloon. Now, what happened there was two bartenders rolling sour barrel whiskey out the front door. While checking the level and content of that barrel, one of those fellers had a lit cigar in his mouth, fell free from his lips, landed the barrel exploded, and the fire was on, burning 66 buildings to the ground. On the right-hand side of the coach here, this RV park. When they excavated that out, they uncovered two Rashida Mary's buried opium dens. Those artifacts we found throughout Tombstone's museums today. And China Mary, she's buried at Boot Hill alongside of her good friend Quan King. Now, as we go through this intersection on the right-hand side, you'll see the Dragoon Mountains out there, also known as Cochise Stronghold. Now, in the middle of that mountain range, you're going to see the profile of a sheep's head looking west. And it'll be out in the middle of the road when we turn here. Now, it should be over the center of the road now. Now, Cochise used to sit on that very formation and eat the cattle all over the valley. But mainly what he was looking for is dust clouds coming from Fort Huachuca. He seen that, he knew the U.S. Army was on its way. Well, he'd sit right there, planning his attack, and that war lasted 10 years. Cochise not losing one Indian brave, but the U.S. Army suffered over 100 casualties. But Cochise finally packed up, moved over to Cherokee Mountains, where he settled in and started raiding over there. But his health failed him, and he passed away. His son-in-law, Geronimo, and some Indian braves loaded him up and brought him back to the beloved Dragoon Mountains, where they buried him in a secret location in his stronghold, where no white man would ever find him again. Buried him with two of his finest war ponies, a cache of silver and gold, and also some U.S. Army rifles. And the reason why they did that, to ensure that Cochise would win his next battle in his afterlife. Now, Geronimo picked up right where Cochise left off, but he was much more violent and deadly. That caught the ear of John B. Clum, our first elected mayor. But before he was mayor, he was the Indian Affairs agent here in the territory. He's also the man responsible for starting the reservation police force. Now, John Clum is the only man to ever catch Geronimo without firing one shot. Coming up on the right, you're going to see a white picket fence and a black flag. At the base of it's a little stub of a telegraph pole. Keep that in mind when I tell you about an outlaw. His name was John Heath. Now, John, he was over in Bisbee. He found out there was a general store over there receiving a lot of cash for miners' payroll. Well, he knew he couldn't rob the place by himself. So he came back to Tombstone, got 5 of his buddies, and they plotted to rob the place. Well, they went back over, something went wrong. Payroll had not arrived yet. It was late. Well, they got so mad they started robbing and shooting everybody in sight, including a pregnant young lady, naming that the Bisbee Massacre. John stayed behind and he lured that posse in the opposite direction, but them lawmen soon figured out his deceit. Made him tell where his 5 buddies were in that short gun battle, retrieved those boys and brought them back to San Antonio on the right-hand side of this courthouse, where they were sitting with a handgun and neck till dead. Now, if you look above that brick wall, you can see the tops of those gallows where those 5 men lost their lives. Now, John wasn't a part of the robbing and killing, but he still got sentenced to 5 years hard labor in human prison. But the folks here in Tombstone did not think he got the right sentence. So they formed a mob, went through those doors, overpowered the jailer, and they took John Heath down the street where they strung him up in that telegraph pole. It took John Heath 20 minutes of dying from that telegraph pole. Now, when they cut him down, they took him to Doc Goodfellow, and he put on his death certificate, John Heath died from asphyxiation of the lungs, caused by high altitude and or strangulation. Well, they also found a man's body over in those hills. And Dr. George put on his death certificate. The man was in remarkable condition for being in the weather for so long, but would not hold one drop of whiskey from all the bullet holes. Old Doc Goodfellow had a right colorful outlook on life. Speaking of color, look underneath on the left under the porch, you'll see those stained glass windows. That was the home of Alan Eames. He was a very successful attorney at Tombstone. Yeah.
Now, are they really buried over at Boot Hill?
Who?
The McClarys and the Clantons? And...
Yeah, well, Ike Clanton is not. Ike Clanton is buried over in Texas.
Okay.
Where he got caught robbing a train.
Right.
That's where he got killed. But the McClarty's out there, and there is Billy Clanton. He is out there.
So it's not just like a facade; it's real.
It's real.
They are really buried.
Oh, yeah, it's real.
And you ever hear about Doc Holliday's jacket that's at Goldfield?
I have no idea about it, but I do know he went through there when he went up to Colorado.
He did go through Goldfield.
Yeah, he went to Goldfield up to he went to Goldfield up to Prescott, and that's where they separated between Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday.
And that's where Mary Cummins is, right?
Yeah.
And that's where she was laid to rest at the Pioneer.
Uh-huh.
So, well, I appreciate it. What was your name again?
Billy.
Billy, I'm Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Well, thank you for very informative information.
Thank you.
You take care.
You too.
Thank you. Who are you? Higgy? Okay. Oh, Marshall Higgy. Ah, okay. Are you the marshal? Awesome. All right, well, it's nice seeing you. Here we are at the OK Corral. This is where legends became legends.
Old Doc Holliday was tending the town. Old Doc Holliday was tending the town. He heard the news going around that the Plainfield kid was gonna shoot him down. Don't you have another drink on me, Doc Holliday? Have another drink on me, Doc Holliday. Have another drink on me, Doc Holliday. The kid ain't gonna shoot you down. Have another drink on me, Doc Holliday. Have another drink on me, Doc Holliday.
All right, I think we found the graves of Billy Clanton, Tom McClowry, Frank McClowry, murdered in the streets of Tombstone, 1881. And yes, they are actually buried here. There's Tom McClowry, killed October 26, 1881. Frank McClowry, killed October 26, 1881. And yours truly, Billy Clanton, killed October 26, 1881. And then on top of that, a lot of people don't see this, we got old man Clanton, and he was killed in 1881 as well. Yeah. So this is very interesting to see the actual burial site for the outlaws, for the cowboys. So if you guys ever come to Tombstone, please stop at Boot Hill. Alright, this is a great place to check out. Alright guys, going to do it for Be Yourself Adventures on a fantastic Labor Day weekend. We went and saw the Old Town Tombstone, went on a wagon, covered wagon. Checked out what some of the areas that I've never seen before when it comes to Tombstone. Went to the Birdcage Theater. Now, also, we went to Boot Hill to see where everybody's laid to rest. Alright, so if you guys like the video, there's going to be plenty more. So always be yourself. Peace.